Well, folks, it's been a long time since we've seen you do a show here on Average Goats with myself, Michael Hanger, and Joel. Again, I'm Pappy. We've been off for a while. Sometimes life gets in the way, but if you're watching, you can see, too, I'm in a different spot. I'm kind of going solo. We're going to do a different format. I'm going to have different people here every week. Michael and Joel will still be a part of it, but we want to get you guys some more content. A lot of going on in the golf world. Lot going on. Just think, okay, it's Thanksgiving. We're getting ready for a Christmas holiday. It's the end of the season. It's literally the last event of the fall, the RSM, and you're thinking, I'm going to start forgetting about golf. But there's just too much going on in the world of golf right now with the LIV and the PGA Tour maybe coming together. Donald Trump getting involved, meeting with both parties. We have Ryder Cup season coming up in 2025. It's going to be one of the biggest Ryder Cups, if not the, at Bethpage Black this year. We got a lot of different types of content coming to you. We're going to talk Bears, football, NFL. We got all sorts of stuff coming up. So Average Goats, it's going to predominantly be the golf talk, right? It's going to be where you come and talk golf with your buddies, but also we're going to talk some other sports that are relevant. Also, new technology, too. We're going to be able to do phone calls, a lot more interviews on the phone. And down the line, when we start doing live feeded podcasts, you're going to be able to call in. You're going to be able to talk to us directly. You're going to be able to be a part of the show and give us your thoughts on what's going on with golf and the other topics we're talking about. So, with further ado, we're gonna move into it. As I said before, 2025 is going to be a big year in golf. This past year has been unreal with all sorts of storylines. Xander Schauffele finally becoming a master champion. Scottie Scheffler's dominance over and over and over again. The popularity of Bryson DeChambeau and the story of how he has become kind of a fan favorite, a novelty when he was the big bomb hitter. Then he became the jerk. He became the heel, almost like a professional wrestler. He made the turn, and nobody liked him. He was part of the LIV golf movement. And now he wins the U.S. Open at Pinehurst, where it was such a great scene, and he was paying so much homage to Payne Stewart. And if you know me, you know he's one of my favorite golfers. So that was kind of cool to see at Pinehurst number 2. And then he goes off and just becomes a social giant. Right now he's doing this hole-in-one challenge. Can he hit a hole-in-one over his beautiful mansion? But Bryson DeChambeau is breaking 50 series. He's playing with Donald Trump while he's on a campaign. Sam, have you been following this stuff?
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Well, I've been following the shots over his house.
It's crazy.
Exhilarating.
Like, I'm not,
so much fun
big Instagram on it, but man, it's like must-see TV every day now.
I think the funnest thing, too, is seeing the parodies of people trying to do it.
Yes.
At their houses.
Seeing a couple redneck guys out there.
In their windows.
Yes.
Smashing stuff.
It's going to take on, and I think the longer it goes on, the more and more the internet will win, as they always do, right? The internet always comes through with something.
So good.
It's crazy. But so 2025 is going to be a big year in golf, and it gets no bigger than the Ryder Cup, like I said earlier, and it's going to become not a lot of people are talking about it right now. Like I was saying, I believe it's because golf's kind of going off everybody's radar. You got college football. They're going to go with their big playoff this year. NFL's heating up about halfway through. You had the World Series and everything. Golf is like kind of what? It's not towards the end of the top 10 of what's on everybody's list right now, right? And then, you've been playing golf all summer, so now you got to go to the frickin' pumpkin patch. You got to do that. You're going to go to orchards with the family, right? You got to get the family time back in now so you can get back out there when the weather's getting good for the golf. But so what is going crazy right now with me, what's really grinding my gears is I'm just going to put it out there, Patrick Cantlay. I think he's a pretty big piece of shit, honestly. So it started about a year ago at the last Ryder Cup, remember, in Europe, and USA is getting dominated again. USA is gonna try to make this late rally on Sunday. But do you remember the whole thing with Patrick Cantlay and the hat, not wearing the hat, and the whole story that came out of that, where him and maybe Xander Schauffele were a little hurt that they don't get paid for their appearance in the Ryder Cup, and playing for country isn't big enough for them. And Sam, what are your initial thoughts on that? Like do you think Ryder Cuppers should be that worried about getting paid for this event?
Do they need more money? That's just my initial.
Thank you.
That's just my initial thought.
We're gonna dive into some numbers that I was looking up earlier in the week, and you're good. It's nuts. Yeah. Come get a real job. Come get a 9 to 5. Come where it's hard to make your house payment, your car payment, and then have enough money to go $100 to go play one round on the weekend with your buddies is what it costs a lot of times at these places. So. Anyway, half decent, and you throw in a couple nooners or a couple high lifes, and you're at $100 a day. and then you play bad because you're looking forward to all week, and then you go home and, people see that you had fun not being at home, and so you take an ear beating, and then you're thinking about how crappy you played. But that's just average goat shit. But so the Ryder Cup, Patrick Cantlay now is beating the drum that they're going to get paid. And the rumor coming out now is the USA players are going to get paid $400,000 to play in the Ryder Cup coming up this year at Bethpage Black in New York. Now, what's crazy is this came out about a month after, Sam. Do you remember when everybody started talking about Ryder Cup tickets at Bethpage, and it's going to be one of the biggest? It's going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest sporting event.
I think I called you because I got the random selection, and I looked up the number of how much it was.
You were like, "You want to go?" And I was like, "Have you seen the price tag?"
Never. I couldn't until the specific day, so I had to wait until I can view it. But
yeah, so just to get in the gates, walk around and see maybe 8 guys in the morning and 8 guys in the afternoon, you're looking at a $750 price tag. Mm-hmm. Do you want to pay that?
Not a chance.
Isn't that crazy? What do you think a beer is going to cost at that event?
I wish I had that kind of expendable income, but there's just no chance.
Oh, for sure.
No chance.
Yeah. If you have,
must be nice.
Limited funds, but still limited funds. $750 to go watch these guys play.
Yeah.
And it's not even a full event. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
It's not even a full event. But
yeah, I can't do it.
Sam, before your time, I mean, Ryder Cup, it was always big, right? And you'll see the highlights of the old school ones where they'll say like the War on the Shore, the one that took away Aquila Island years ago. But the one that I remember as a young guy, it was 1999. And it was actually Payne Stewart. He wins the U.S. Open in 99 at Pinehurst. Yep. The pose that everybody does, right?
You can't see
and
it.
And then he's a part of this Ryder Cup team, which like meant more than him than anything. Like winning U.S. Opens and the Ryder Cup was like Payne's big thing, right? Mm-hmm. And so they end up having this epic comeback. Do you remember ever hearing this clip? Listen to this clip I got for you.
I'm going to leave y'all on one thought, and I'm going to leave. I'm a big believer in fate. I have a good feeling about this. That's all I'm going to tell you.
It's old Ben Crenshaw, and he's waving his finger at the camera, and USA comes back on Sunday in Massachusetts at the Country Club Brookline, and it's this big thing. But I remember 1999, you go back, you look this up, David Duval was like the #1 player in the world, and he started this crap about getting paid. And, Olympians were starting to get paid at the time, and it's their time too, and they can't do 3 days of country. So it became a big story. America's getting killed Friday, Saturday, and then they make this epic comeback. Biggest comeback in Ryder Cup history in 99, okay? So what really has me upset about this whole Patrick Cantlay and the Ryder Cup thing, since 1999, all right, you ready for this? From 2002 to 2023, last year's, we had a 9/11 delay on one, and then we flipped back because of COVID. So whatever. So there's been 11 Ryder Cups since that epic Ben Crenshaw USA comeback. Out of those 11 Ryder Cups, what do you think the record is of these teams? Just think of this. Because USA is the one who needs to be paid. Team Europe, when they kick our ass, what it seems like every 2 years, and better team camaraderie and all that stuff, Rory McIlroy's come out. I don't need the money. Shane Lowry, I do it for love of Europe. Right? Like, them over there in Europe, like they think of these big soccer teams, and they're so excited about their country and their country's flag, right? And they wrap it around them. You've seen these images, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Shane Lowry wears that big Ireland flag, and he is one of the proudest Irish golfers of all time, right? They don't need the money. They already make enough money. Now, mind you, they have houses here and they have houses over in Europe, right? Because they choose to play the PGA Tour over the European Tour, so they want to be here even more than being back where they're from.
They ain't bitching.
They got 2 estates, you know what I mean, in different countries.
Yeah.
Minimum like 6. No, we want to do it for free. Patrick Cantlay, I need my $400,000. So in those 11 years, what do you think the record is?
Oh, it ain't good, Pappy.
What do you think it is? It's obviously not 500, right?
No, it's well below.
So do you think it's like 7 and 4?
I'd go, well, yeah, so 4 and 7, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Right? It's even worse than that.
No, is it?
The Americans have won 3 of the last 11 Ryder Cups since that epic 1999 comeback. And don't forget, too, this includes the meltdown at Medina, where European returns the favor of the biggest comeback ever I was there Friday, and let me tell you, the Ryder Cup is one of the best sporting events you can go to. If you can get a free ticket, I definitely would do it, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Friday morning, the sun's barely coming up, the fog, the dew over the golf course, your goosebumps on your body because you hear them already singing and chanting, USA, USA. And it's a Friday morning, and you're only going to watch, a handful of matches in the morning, handful of matches in the afternoon, and you're running around this golf course to try to get little glimpses of your heroes that you watch on TV all the time, right?
Yeah.
And they gave it the big – so they're 8-3. They're 8-3 since then. 02, Europe. 04, Europe. 06, Europe. 08, USA. 10, Europe. 12, Europe. 14, Europe. They gave you 2 3-peats. They're the Bulls of the 90s.
Wow.
Europe's the Bulls of the 90s right now.
I forgot about all that.
They gave you 2 3-peats. 2 complete USA meltdowns. We got to take the dart, the chalkboards down. We got to re-diagram this all up. We're not doing it
meltdowns,
right.
or is it just domination on them?
Because they don't care.
Yeah.
They need $400,000 to care.
I guess.
Right?
Is that the motivation?
Obviously not for Team Europe. They don't have a problem kicking our ass every 2 years.
Maybe that was the problem last time because they didn't get paid and they played like shit. USA.
Yeah. Yeah, Patrick Cantlay was too busy doing his air tip to the fans.
So he's saying he needs to be motivated with some cash.
Exactly.
And then he'll play.
It's insane.
Wow.
It is insane.
Wow.
Like I said, tickets are going to be $750. They're saying for one of the lowest levels to get into the Ryder Cup in 2025 at Bethpage. It's a damn shame. And I'm putting it all on Patrick Cantlay. So we dive into the man. Should we dive into anti-America? Remember everybody hates Patrick Reed, but remember the one with him and Rory going back and forth?
Yeah.
And he Dikembe Mutombo's Rory, and they named him Captain America. And now everybody hates Patrick Reed because he's a cheater. I get it.
For sure.
But he's better than Patrick Cantlay. I'll tell you that.
That was a great drama, though.
It was awesome drama.
That was the best.
It was one of the best Ryder Cups of all time.
Yeah.
But Patrick Cantlay needs his money. What do you think this guy's made career-wise on the PGA Tour?
Oh, jeez. So much money.
Not won a major, by the way.
Yeah, well, the money today is just outrageous. So it has to be an incredible amount.
How about $76.9 million just in golf?
Wow.
We're not talking
and it's
the ugly FootJoy shit he wears.
So 400,000's just that much more for him.
Think about that. What is the percentage of his career earnings? $400,000 that he needs that. Think about that. That's like a $20 gratuity on a $100 bill for him.
It's a drop in a bucket. It's nothing.
It's nothing. We're not even like. Why do you need this money? Since 2017, Patrick Cantlay on PGA Tour has made at least $2 million since 2017. Sam, what year is it?
2024.
So through COVID even, he's still clearing $2 million a year. But he needs a 25% bonus on his worst year to go to the Ryder Cup and play for his country. But the Europeans don't need that money. Think about that. Think about this. Think about this. Really, like in dollars and cents to an average person. The new salary minimum that you could pay somebody's salary is going to go to $58,000. And everybody's, I'm not getting into a political talk right now, right? I don't care, blue, red, whatever. Yeah. But think about this. If you want to put somebody on salary, it's going to be like $58,000 and change is going to be the minimum. So a lot of people are going to get bumped up to that because of their salary. They're going to do it because they want to keep their house and crap, right? This $2 million, his worst year through 2017 till now. If you divide that by 58,000, would take that person at the new salary minimum in this country 34 and a half years to make that $2 million. So to make his worst year. But he wants to tell me I need a $750 ticket. I need to buy a $28 16-ounce Ultra, and I need to come in and enjoy him because he needs the $400,000 in September. Come on. Are you kidding me?
Bring in the numbers today, Pappy.
Are you kidding me? Numbers don't lie, Sam.
How many years? I'm sorry.
That's my golf.
How many years?
My golf. Since 2017.
How many years would it take to
34 and a half.
Jesus.
Making what the country tells you should make is your minimum salary if you're on salary. And think about the people
during
out
a COVID year, right?
Yeah, a couple COVID years. He still made it.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Oh my gosh.
2021, $7.3 million. 2022, $8.7 million. 2023, $9.1 million. This year, with all these elevated events that he needed to be in the top 70, all these whiny babies, he needs $400,000 to go rep his country. So all of this is spoon-fed to him this year with these elevated events. He could only make $4.7 million. Only 4.7. He had a down year, probably because he had sunburn on his head from not wearing his hat.
Put the hat on.
Last fall in the Ryder Cup.
Put the hat on.
Put the hat on. Represent your country. Wear the red, white, and blue.
Be proud.
What are we doing here? Sam, what do you think about all this?
Shit, dude. I mean, I just find it absurd to do these like USA events. It's just all about pride. It's always been about pride and representing your country, not about the money. So it's just, I mean, just makes me just dislike him.
Yeah.
You know,
think about this. In September, you're going to be watching the Ryder Cup.
I never
right?
really liked him, though, to be honest with you. So
right. It's the pointy ears, and he kind of looks like a creepy horse jockey.
It's just lifeless out there. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, no, I agree. That's a whole other podcast, just why we don't like him. But this is today's topic. Just the $400,000 when he makes the Ryder Cup team this year, and he gets the $400,000 for 3 days of golf, right? I get it. There's practice days. There's media days. There's days you go for team bonding events, whatever. I don't know what a team bonding event would be with 12 of the richest people in sport.
Yeah.
That's got to be interesting, right? That's an interesting spa day.
Yeah.
But, like, what are we doing here? That $400,000, if you divided it by 52 weeks in a 40-hour work week, which me and you got to work.
We got numbers, baby.
$192 an hour. Wow. Just for the bonus he wants to play 3 days of golf.
$192 an hour.
$192 an hour. No days off. 40 hours a week. No 2 weeks vacation. Well, I guess it would be paid, so you get your $192 an hour. So think about that.
Work. He's golfing.
That's what he needs.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You know what honestly, you know what I need? I need Keegan Bradley to step up and be like, we're done with this shit.
That'd be nice.
I'm done with this. We're not playing this game. Nip it in the ass. You get the $400,000, you better be giving it to charity.
I think that'd be big for him after coming off of he's already got the hearts of everybody anyway after all the shit that went down on.
Do you remember that in full swing when he gets left off the team?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
Zach Johnson can have his buddy.
I think people already got his back, and then if he goes and does that, he's just going to already win over people even more.
You got to think how he's Mr. Boston, right? He never hides out. He loves the Patriots and all that, and he's from Boston, and he's won a couple of those playoff events in Boston, and those crowds are always electric for him. So I think that's going to travel to New York for Bethpage, right? They're going to have the captain's back, but, man, I hope someone steps up and says, we don't need this. We don't need this. Tiger. Yeah, somebody step up. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. That's what we need. We need $400,000. So I'm gonna let it go for now. But this will be a hot topic all year, being a Ryder Cup year and watching Patrick Cantlay watch. Man, can you imagine if he's a captain's pick? Holy cow! But yeah, somebody like him is gonna be on there instead of Bryson or Brooks, guys that actually have won majors the last couple years.
We got to get this whole thing integrated.
Yeah. So what would you do? I brought it up earlier. Trump is meeting. He met with Jay Monahan, and he wants to help figure out this whole Live PGA Tour thing. Then the next night, he's at the UFC fight. He's with Yazir from Live, and he's sitting, ringside with Joe Rogan and all them, and Donald Trump, and they had a meeting about Live. So Donald Trump, before he even takes office, is going to make moves for the world of golf. I mean, it's no secret. He loves golf, right? What do you think is going to happen with Live and PGA? How's this all shake out?
I mean, it's been absurd that it's taken this long. I think there's been speculation for how many years now that something's going to get done?
I'll be honest. I've never watched I don't think I've watched even watching highlights from the Live Tour. I don't think I've watched 10 minutes of coverage since they've done this.
Yeah, so
for a couple of years. So it's like
you and the rest of the viewers are missing out. We're all missing out as fans because
I don't think I'm missing out. I don't think I want to watch what they're doing.
No, but I mean,
I want to see them at the majors.
But the top players in the world playing the top players in the world at all these tournaments.
Right.
They're not eligible. They're not even in the world rankings. They're not.
Well, and that's the thing that came out this week. Some of them are getting reinstated to the DP World Tour.
Yeah.
Sergio's back there. Terrell Hatton now has it just went through. So it's like, what is going to happen with all that?
Yeah. Like world rankings, I don't doubt Scheffler's number one, but there's some, with Rahm. Rahm hasn't been playing as good ever since he went over there. So
right. Foot issues. Short foot. He's short-footed.
Short foot.
But no, They kind of did it to themselves, right? They wanted their chosen few. You know, Bubba Watson now is not even in the tour anymore. They don't know what to do with him. Phil's halfway out of there, right? Like, what are they going to do? They don't have actual competition, right? Like,
it's good for them as like financially, yes, take the money.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
But as a product for everyone else to watch, like some of those weeks are rough when you're like seeing. I mean, I guess it's cool to see new guys like coming up on the tour that don't get all the coverage all the time.
I miss watching the Arnold Palmer with Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau.
That's what I'm saying.
I miss it.
Me too.
But they did it.
Yeah, I hear you, but I think it all could have been figured out already.
Right.
But I don't know. So I'm not the one involved.
What's the penalty? Like, if you stayed with the PGA Tour and these guys are just going to come back, how pissed are you?
No shit.
They get hundreds of millions of dollars of signing bonuses, private charter planes, all these different tournaments. There's got to be some sort of payback, no? Like, there has to be some sort of tax to get back in that will get divvied up between the players.
Was there something that Rory worked out with them? I thought there was talk about, I forget. I thought he talked something out where there was like some percentage, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah, nothing got finalized.
Oh, yeah, maybe it was just talk?
Right.
Okay. Because I think he was pissed about it. Like, if they ever come back.
Well,
you owe us some money.
Listen, golf is right. Golf is something you got to have your traditions. I think it's almost like if you start a new baseball league and you're not going to play Wrigley, you're not going to play Fenway, you're not going to play Yankee Stadium anymore. And by the way, you're going to play with half professionals and half, double A. I don't think people are going to watch it. So it's a reason why people are part of, they love the tradition and nostalgia of events like that. So yeah. Hopefully they get it figured out, and it gets figured out at over the holidays here, so we can see them in the beginning of the year, because we're literally like 4.5, 5 weeks away from the tour teeing it up in Hawaii. And Happy New Year's! You pop some champagne, and next thing you know, we're off into a new golf season. So it'd be pretty exciting.
So Trump was doing some deals. Is that what you're saying?
Hey, I'm just reading what was reported, man. Golf Digest.
I didn't hear about that.
It's pretty crazy. I didn't hear about it either that much because I was too busy.
What can he do though? What's he doing? Just bringing them together in the same area on the golf course? That's what's going to?
No, they all were in the same area at one time. He met with Monahan early in the morning, played some golf, and then that night or the next night he's with the other guy.
So he's the middleman. He's the one who's kind of working both sides.
It's crazy, isn't it?
All right.
I mean, what if it does happen?
I don't know.
What happens if January 10th they're like, we're good?
That'd be crazy. I mean, I'm all for it. I'm not going to, right. I'm all for it.
2 weeks before my inauguration, and I fixed the PGA Live thing. You're welcome.
Right.
It'd be kind of crazy. But,
yeah, that'd be good.
Hey, but the last topic I want to talk about today is, because we were just talking about January. I think it's like January 6th, January 8th. We'll get the information for the next one for sure, but it's going to be that indoor league that they're starting with Tiger, Rory. So listen to this. I was reading up on this. Have you read anything about how the stadium sets up?
No.
Okay, so you're hitting into this we'll call it mega simulator, and it's massive, right? And it's more of a round panorama, right? And you're hitting into this screen, and it's all state-of-the-art technology. So you're going to play, let's say it's a par 5. You're going to play your drive. You're going to play your 3-wood. And let's say you're 10, 15 yards pitch shot. The screen's going to lift up. You're going to walk through the screen into this arena. And then there's going to be a laser almost dot where you're going to put your ball, and you're actually going to pitch into this green then.
Tell me the green moves, and it adjusts.
It does.
Yes.
It's all this new technology. And
that sounds awesome.
They can replicate famous greens within 1.5%.
Wow. So it's almost real golf. You're just not moving it. You don't have to walk. You don't have to get in a cart. You can still chip and putt. Which is
be putting the different holes, everything.
Which has always been the worst part of simulators. We can all agree.
Absolutely.
Chipping and putting. There's no feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now they're going to be doing it in this arena.
Badass.
Where they can hit 60, 70-yard shots.
That's cool.
And you have different teams, and they're going to be right there. They're going to be smack talking each other. How cool is that going to be? You get in these these made-for-TV matches, right? And the back and forth is pretty good. But now you're going to have guys actually playing for something. You're not going to have Charles Barkley, or you might have him, but it's not like Charles Barkley's playing.
He'll be
It's not
announcing maybe.
That's fine.
That's
the actual golf is going to be that
Yeah.
much better because it's going to be, Max Homa versus Tiger Woods.
Right. Real
So,
players.
How cool is that going to be in the middle of the week in the winter for a couple weeks?
Badass.
I think it'll
I'm stoked.
right?
Yeah. I mean,
I want to meet the teams. Like,
Yeah.
hopefully they have like a brief little video on the teams, and then you get to pick. You want to get behind like one of these golf. What would it be, like a golf club or like a golf franchise?
I did see the little teams. They had like 6 of them. There was like different cities kind of based throughout the
Right.
U.S., East Coast this or like New York,
Yeah.
whatever. I think it was that. Yeah, like Atlanta something and all those. Look pretty cool.
So yeah, so over like Thanksgiving, that I'm gonna be looking more into that, and so we can talk about it even more before it like starts.
Happy.
Because I think it's gonna be really good.
Any way I can get more Tiger, I'm good with it.
Right?
You know what I mean?
And not have to watch him limp too much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No excuses.
And he's the king of trash talk.
No excuses.
He's the king of trash talk.
Yeah.
How
think
good is
it's-
he gonna be?
It's the best version of Tiger that we can get is stationary and, low. There's no
Yeah.
traversing the
On like
whole
a Tuesday,
course.
Wednesday night, January 15th.
I'm all in.
Sign me up. I think it's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
I think the technology that they're gonna be able to like bring to the forefront will find your way into a TV broadcast within a year and a half to 2 years. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Like something like that's gonna come.
I hope so. Anything to make it like, I think just the product being more exciting is great. So
And then you just like keep your fingers crossed somebody is stupid enough to try to open up a place like this around here. So we can play it.
please.
Right?
please.
I want to head in a simulator and have it go up and then go into like a chipping putting arena. And
Oh
then
my gosh.
instead of just putting into like the same really crappy simulator, right?
That'd be so cool.
Simulator golf is the worst for chipping.
It's the
worst.
worst. The worst.
You would literally make the same swing. You could get 15 yards
Yeah.
or 62.
Yeah.
It's like, what did I do differently there?
And the putting. Yeah. Just,
Oh.
it's brutal.
The putting is just, yeah. It's
What? Uphill? How fast
Yeah.
are those dots moving?
right. How fast is simulator 10 and a half?
Yeah, right.
It's like, yeah, it is. It is
It's hard to visualize 40 feet past the screen, but,
right.
whatever.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the indoor golf league. I think it's gonna be the next new thing.
I'm pumped. Sounds cool.
Yeah. Well, hey, it was good to knock the dust off. It was good to get this set up with you, Sammy, and get this going
Heck
again.
yeah.
Thanks for joining.
You're welcome.
And like I said, we're going to be doing a lot more content coming out. So stay tuned, and we look forward to seeing you guys. We'll see you soon. All right. Take it easy.